Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Nika and I make book related videos. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you all the books that I got in February, books I bought, books that were gifts, and a couple of review copies as well. So I hope you enjoy this video and watch until the end. If you liked it, don't forget to click on the thumbs up icon and subscribe if you haven't already. So without further ado, let's get started. So let me begin by sharing some of the review copies that I got. The first book that I have to share is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is book 2 in the Ninth House series. Actually, I'm not yet sure if it's going to be a series or a trilogy or whatever. But basically, this is dark academia adult fantasy. So if you're in the mood for something like that, this is definitely one that you can pick up. However, that said, this is really adult. It's got some very dark themes, so you can definitely go in knowing all of that because it has many trigger warnings as well. Since this is book 2, I won't really give you a synopsis of this one, but basically we follow a girl named Alex Stern who has the special ability to see ghosts, or greys as they are called in this world, and she goes to Yale University, and in return for her free education, she has to be a part of this secret society which is responsible for ensuring that all the other secret societies within campus do not misuse their power. All of these secret societies dabble with a lot of magic and so on. So like I said, this is adult fantasy and definitely something you can check out. Many thanks to Hachette India for sending me this review copy. In fact, I just uploaded the reading vlog of this book, which I'm sure by the time this haul video goes up, that one would have already been up for quite some time. So if you are interested, you can definitely check out the reading vlog as well. Right, so moving on, I have got this beautiful collection of short stories, and it is called The Garden of Tales by Vijaydan Dedha, and this is a collection of Rajasthani folk tales that have been translated into the English by Vishesh Kothari. Now this one was given to me by HarperCollins, so many thanks to them for that. Let me share a brief synopsis of this book with you all. Vijaydan Dedha is undoubtedly the most important writer of Rajasthani prose in the 20th century. He draws the reader into the complex and quirky world of the common folk of Rajasthan while bringing alive the magic of folklore and fable. Traversing landscapes that are both earthly and cosmic, his tales, while being about the rich and poor, the saint and sinner, are also populated by trees, animals, the wind and the rain, gods and goddesses, and even ghosts. And between them, they explore humanity in all its myriad manifestations: love and desire, innocence and cunning, wisdom and folly, greed and deceit, righteousness, valor, and the illusion of power. Masterfully translated by Vishesh Kothari, The Garden of Tales is a definitive selection of Dedha's work that will amuse and absorb you until the very last page. So I'm definitely very excited to read it, and if you are in the mood for some short stories, then this is definitely something you can check out. Moving on, I have Peter Frankopan. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about him as well. Now this one is an advanced reader copy that was sent to me by Bloomsbury, and the book is The Earth Transformed, an Untold Story. Now I've heard a lot about Peter Frankopan from his most definitive works, I think, The Silk Roads, and this is no less of a brick. So basically this one follows the history of Earth, but more in terms of let's say geography and climate. So here's a brief, very brief synopsis. Rich soil and bumper harvests have built empires. Drought and famine have fanned the flames of war and rebellion. Storms and floods, earthquakes and eruptions have buried civilizations. The way that humans have interacted with the natural world and with the climate has shaped and will change our world, but this story has gone untold. So this is a recent release. It just came out in March. I'm really excited to get to it. Again, it's a huge chunker, so I might take some time reading it, but that said, this has been categorized really well. At least that's what I've gathered from the contents page. It's all very chronological, so that will really help me as a reader understand things in a linear fashion. So I'm really looking forward to reading this book, and many thanks to Bloomsbury for sending me this book. Moving on, let's get another big book, and this one is Babel, An Arcane History by R.F. Kuang. Now, this is also a dark academia book, and I picked it up because I was very stoked to read it. I've heard a lot about this book and seen a lot of reviews as well on Bookstagram, and that is, basically Bookstagram is where I get a majority of my own book recommendations from. I also have my Bookstagram page if you're interested, so check that out. Getting back on track, I've heard a lot about this book, and that is why I got it. So this is basically dark academia again, but it is also a critique on colonialism. Let me share a brief synopsis from the back of the book. An act of translation is always an act of betrayal. Oxford, 1836. The city of dreaming spires. It is the center of all knowledge and progress in the world, and at its heart is Babel, Oxford University's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, the tower from which all of the empire's power flows. Orphaned in Canton and brought to England by a mysterious guardian, Robin Swift thought Babel a paradise until it became a prison. But can a student stand against an empire? So really excited to see it. Generally, when it comes to dark academia, it is always very elitist, very classist. So I'm interested to see how R.F. Kuang, takes on this telling, especially bringing into the force a person who is basically an outsider because of their race and everything. So really excited for this one. Then we have got another sort of a big book. This one is Hari Kunzru's Red Pill. I have to say that I was very much intrigued by the cover, and I think it is stunning. So let me share a brief synopsis of the book with you. When a Brooklyn writer leaves behind his young family to take up the offer of a 3-month residency at the Deuter Center on the shore of Berlin's Lake Wannsee, he arrives with romantic dreams of days devoted to total artistic absorption. However, the center turns out to be anything but the idyllic writerly retreat he imagines, and rather than study at the clinical and closely monitored desk assigned to him, he opts to spend much of the time holed up in his bedroom watching Blue Lives, an ultraviolet cop show with a bleak and merciless view of the world. But then one night everything changes when he meets Anton, the charismatic creator of Blue Lives, and they strike up a passionate and alcohol-fueled conversation about the pessimism at the show's core. It is a conversation that marks the beginning of the writer's obsession with Anton and leads him on a journey into the heart of moral darkness that threatens to destroy everything he holds most dear, including his own mind. Red Pill is a novel about the alternate right, online culture, creativity, sanity, and history. It is the story of the 21st century told through the prism of the centuries that preceded it, and it shows how the darkest chapters of our past have returned to haunt our present. More than anything though, Red Pill is a story about love and how it can endure in a world where everything else seems to have lost all meaning. So that's Red Pill for you. Let's change the tone a bit. I have got 2 romance novels actually to share, and both of them are by Emily Henry. We have Beach Read on the one hand, and we've got People We Meet in Vacation. Now back in, I think around Christmas, we had The Secret Santa in our office, and I got Book Lovers from my colleague as a gift, as he was my Secret Santa. So I read it, really loved it, and decided that I should get the other 2 of Emily Henry's books as well. So first we have Beach Read. January is a hopeless romantic who narrates her life like she's the lead in a blockbuster movie. Gus is a serious literary type who thinks true love is a fairy tale. But January and Gus have more in common than you'd think. They are both broke, they have crippling writer's block, and they need to write bestsellers before summer ends. The result? A bet to swap genres and see who gets published first. The risk? In telling each other stories, their worlds might just be changed entirely. So that's Beach Read for you. And then we also have People We Meet on Vacation. Poppy and Alex and Poppy. They have nothing in common. She's a wild child, he wears khakis. She has an insatiable wanderlust, he prefers to stay home with a book, and somehow ever since a fateful car share home from college many years ago, they are the very best of friends. For most of the year, they live far apart. She's in New York City and he's in their small hometown, but every summer for a decade, they have taken one glorious week of vacation together. Until 2 years ago when they ruined everything, and they haven't spoken since. Poppy has everything she should want, but she's stuck in a rut. When someone asks when she was last truly happy, she knows without a doubt that it was on that ill-fated final trip with Alex. And so she decides to convince her best friend to take one more last vacation together. lay everything on the table and make it all right. Miraculously, he agrees. Now she has a week to fix everything. If only she can get around the one big truth that has always stood quietly in the middle of their seemingly perfect relationship. What could possibly go wrong? Spoiler alert, I've read both of these books by now and I actually quite really like them. I'm also really looking forward to the next book by Emily Henry that's coming out, I think this month, I'm not sure, in April maybe. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to that as well. Moving on, I have got another book that I'm so excited to share with you all, and it is Bunny by Mona Awad. I just thought that it was out of this world. It was possibly the best book I read in March, so let me share. Samantha Heather Mackey is an outsider in her small, highly selective MFA program at Warren University. In fact, she is utterly repelled by the rest of her fiction writing cohort, a clique of unbearably twee rich girls who call each other Bunny. But then the bunnies issue her with an invitation and Samantha finds herself inexplicably drawn to their front door, across the threshold and down their rabbit hole. Blending sharp satire with fairy tale horror, Bunny is a spellbinding trip of a novel from one of fiction's most original voices. Again, really loved it. It's sort of like a secret society, but more so clique than secret society. It's set in a university. They're all writing majors together, so it's a really interesting take. There's also this sort of like it's mentioned here, fairy tale horror element that I personally really love. So I think if that's something that you really like, let's say you've read the works of Samantha Schweblin, Mariana Enriquez, then you might really want to check out this book as well. It's done really well. We've almost reached the end. The next book that I have here is Son of the Thundercloud by Esther Nkire. I actually have read this already, but unfortunately that was a book that I borrowed from the library and I wanted my own copy, so I got this one. After losing his family in a terrible famine, a man leaves his village with just the clothes on his back. For endless miles he walks through a landscape as desolate as his heart, until two ancient women who have waited for rain for 400 years lead him to the village of weavers, where a prophecy will be fulfilled. A single drop of rain will impregnate the tiger widow, and her son will slay the spirit tiger. The traveler will witness miracles and tragedy, and he will learn that love and life are eternal. Esther Nkire combines lyrical storytelling with the magic and wisdom of Naga legends to produce an unforgettable fable. So really, I personally really liked it. I think I read it last year, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, it was really enjoyable story, and I think you should definitely pick it up. It's quite short as well, so it's nice. And if you get to acquaint yourself with cultures that are, let's say, different from yours, then it's always a plus point. So really, I do recommend this book. Then we've got a short story collection. I seem to be definitely in the mood for short story collection, and this one is Murder in 7 Acts by Kalpana Swaminathan. Now let me share what really compelled me to buy this book. It's the synopsis, of course. In this gripping collection of short stories, Lali, 60, silver-haired and tough as nails, solves some of the strangest cases of her career. A face keeps reappearing in unlikely places until a crime of jealousy committed long ago is revealed. Letters from a dead woman hint at a murder that may or may not have happened. A hate-fueled book burning claims a life in a horrific fashion, and a serial killer turns up in the studio of a famous fashion designer. A suicide in a Mumbai suburb turns out to be something far more sinister, and an innocuous desk ornament becomes a clue to a crime most artistically executed. Finally, for connoisseurs of crime fiction, the curtains come down with a story about lost love and a subtle, surprising revenge. So I'm guessing there are a total of 7 stories. Yeah, 7 stories. Really excited to read that, and I'm sure the synopsis was intriguing for you as well. The last book that I have to share is Joyce Carol Oates' Daddy Love, and the reason I got it was because, to be very honest, the title intrigued me. Let me share the synopsis. Have they found him? Have they found Robbie? They waited. Each hour of the day they waited. No one told her the latest news, for the latest news was usually no news. A day, a night, 2 days, several days, a week, and finally 12 days, and then 15 days, no news. So that was the synopsis, that's just it. But I do have to share a couple of blurbs. The Irish Times calls it incantatory and harshly beautiful, and the Times says America's queen of Gothic literature taps into our deepest fears with her cool, unsparing eye. So this is quite a short read as well. The writing is quite big. So that's that. So that's it, guys. Those are all the new books that I got in the month of March. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do let me know what are some of the books that you got recently that you are really excited to pick up next, because I know with us readers it's sometimes like we just buy the book and let it collect dust, you know. But I'm hoping to change it this year. You can call it one of my reading resolutions, or resolutions in general. But anyway, yeah, that was the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you're reading or what you're excited to read in April. I'll see you again very soon. If you like this video, don't forget to click on the thumbs up icon down below and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care. Peace out. Bye.